How pretty that is.
If y'all look at this with your right hand side, we're just been told this whole section looks like the moon, so of course, we got to add our own little flag to it. But also throughout this hallway space, you're going to notice these little strings hanging down. Now these are all feeler roots coming from our trees and plants above. That's because here at our cavern, we're still in our root zone, and you're anywhere between 50, 55 feet below the surface right here. As you work your way through the next stop, that's the higher
Sally. Is that Sally?
Yeah.
I bet you somebody touched something when they put that flag in, right?
You know, that looks good.
I gotta get the water in.
We're going to kind of make a portrait shape. You see the left-hand side here, where you're taking out that first grotto, and afterwards, look back around to this side. And as y'all enter, we're just going to stick to the left-hand side of the path. We're going to take turns taking out that first grotto, and afterwards, we'll be back around over here.
That there is a lizard habitat.
Stay young if you go in
Stay young.
there. Yeah. Youth.
A little hideaway.
See, luckily, you're perfect cave height. You don't have to duck for anything. Right. Wait, ceiling boys get your height out, not mine. And
That's
those.
so bad.
Yeah.
So we had to take out that inside of our cavern room, just sort of our first grotto, all it up. Now, a grotto is just a little different from the rooms we're standing in here. It's always going to have some of that freestanding water inside of it. It's got to start some of those pools. But what you check out above your heads here is one of our first cavern chandeliers. And the way these form is as the water is draining out throughout the room. What it's going to do is rush along both sides of our formation. And over time, that begins to carve it out. So we see this almost floating like effects we're getting down. But if you don't quite see that with this formation, no worries. Later on, we walk under our room chandeliers. Those ones are just a lot more defined. Now, this one in particular has two special things going on with it. And to start things off, there's that small little white patch there. You might have seen this a lot in our cavern already. Now, this here is called calcite. Calcite's just the building block for all of our limestone formations. In its purest form, we see these white, almost glittery tones. But over time, it can start to absorb other minerals throughout the soil. So typically what we'll have it down here is more of these brown, orange, and reds, as we have a lot of clay here. Now, further back, you'll see our footprints on the ceiling. And more specifically, those brown patches inside of them. Now that's because here at our caverns, we do see bats. Now the bats we see are nothing to be scared of. We get tri-colored bats. In their full adult size, they're only about this big, with a wingspan of 7 inches. And we call them our little fuzzy chicken nuggets. But folks, when they're down here, it's just to hibernate for the winter. So they start that process at the beginning of December. They all fly away by the end of March. But with that information, you can kind of take a guess on what those brown patches are. the more active they'll become. So from this point on, we'll start to check out a lot more tunnels in our path. We'll also get a lot more of these lower ceiling points, so just be sure to watch your feet and watch your heads. But as we curve around here towards our next stop, we're going to have you check out our first cavern chimney. Now be sure to walk under it. The ceiling point you'll see for this chimney is roughly about 30 feet high. And we'll start curving around from this side here. Please be very cautious as walking through the center of this room. It stays slinky around, and I just don't want anybody to fall.
Mom says, hold on. You all right?
Get this.
Hmm? She all right?
Now he's behind vulnerable.
High voltage, keep out. Get in there. High voltage, put on water. Yeah, that's the amount. I want to climb up there.
Look at that.
Oh my gosh. Is there bats up there?
No. It's just
Up
like,
in there. Wow.
yeah.
Friend. It's not even a block, Mom. I know.
Hold on to me.
Ready, folks? And a great idea of when we walk this entire time is all of our pathways are made from a dried up stream bed. So all of this used to fill floor to ceiling with water. Now when we currently see any flooding here throughout our cavern, it's not as serious anymore. And typically at the most about ankle height, wall to wall in pathways. But our cavern system has also what's called a branching system. So think today we're on one main path, but along our main path, you'll start to see some smaller pathways that continue outwards. Now these either lead out to nothing or can lead background in some areas just not very accessible by people. However, our cavern system, like most, had about 3 sections that had to be widened to walk folks through. And between our island point here to our room of chandeliers is that first section. But if you'd like to know the original height, it's back at that island point. So that small space there between the light and the ceiling is what we'd start crawling through right now if they did not widen this area. I don't know about y'all, I like our curved pathways a lot better. Yeah. Now, folks, just as we make our way on through, go ahead and watch out for some lower ceiling points along the way and a couple more puddles here along our path.
She can hold on. Oh, this far.
Allie decided when she's watching you.
Dude, I know. I keep climbing.
I should let me know here. Out there.
here.
It's dark.
This is the snare.